Hello everyone, in this tutorial we are diving into one of the most powerful techniques for procedural content generation, and this is how you can pass values from your PCG graph to your blueprint. I have created a custom blueprint here that has two values that it accepts as inputs. One is the number that we want to write into this parking spot that we are creating, and the other is the color of this number. So I can show you different types of values being passed. You can pass any type of value to your blueprint, and this is very powerful technique, really easily populating your scenes into your level with different type of objects that rely on customization from input values. So let's start by creating a blueprint that will host our PCG graph to be placing these blueprint actors. So let's first create a blueprint class. This class will be of a type actor and call it BP parking. Let's create a PCG graph by right-clicking, typing PCG and creating a PCG graph. Call it PCG parking. And into our blueprint, make the window a little bit bigger, and I'll add a spline, and then I'll add a PCG component. So search for spline and for PCG and add both components. So this spline, because I don't want to have a curved PCG placement, I'll select each point and make the type linear. Let's do it for the first point as well. Okay, now my points are linear, and this means the graph will not curve. If I add another point, it will be just straight line to this point. So let's make this line a little bit longer by changing the location of this point to 1000. And let's compile and save this. So right now we have a spline that we use to place our actor, our blueprint, and we have a PCG component that will need to connect to our PCG graph that we just created. So drag the PCG graph on top of the graph field into our PCG component. Let's compile and save this. And if we open now our PCG graph, let's start with the simplest logic just to start outputting our blueprint into the level. Let's get spline data. This will find the spline into our blueprint. Then let's do a spline sampler. This will sample this spline and we'll use the mode of distance because each parking spot will be the same distance, and we'll put the distance of 400, for example. 4 meters for a parking spot seems okay to me. So each 400 units will spawn actor, and this spawn actor node allows you to spawn blueprints into your level. So here into the template actor class, we can create a blueprint actor that we are going to spawn. I already have the blueprint created, the one that I showed you. It is this blueprint marker. So let's save this and let's see into our level if we place this blueprint. Let's go into some empty space. So let's place this into the level, and you can see that it's rotated the wrong way. So if I go back into my PCG graph, let's do a transform points here, and let's rotate this 90 units into the z-axis and connect it again to the spawn actor node. So right now you can see I'm properly placing the parking spaces. The problem is that I don't see the numbers here, and I don't see the numbers because I don't have any value for the number variable that I'm expecting into this blueprint. So in this spawn actor, you can overwrite the values that you're inputting into your blueprint when you're placing it. Into this spawned actor property override will create an entry by clicking this add element, and this gives you an entry with two fields. One is the property target, which is the name of the variable that you want to override. So let me go into my marker blueprint that I'm placing. So this marker blueprint has a variable called number, which is the one that I want to override. So let's copy this name. Let's go back here, and we want to override the number variable. So into the property target, let's choose the number, and into the input source, let's choose for now the index. Let's save this and see into our level. We now have the numbers into our level. The color is black, so there's something missing, and this is the override for our color variable. Let's go back into the PCG graph, the spawn actor node, and let's add another element into this spawned actor property overrides. This property again is an input of my blueprint that I'm placing, and it's called a color. So let's write color here, and the input source, let's for now use the color of our PCG points. Let's save this, and right now you can see that we are generating the parking places with the proper numbers. So this parking place seems a little bit white to me, so let's go back into the spline sampler and do a 350 units. Let's save this, and let's rotate the parking spots, place them next to the curb, for example like this, and I'll extend them to the end here. So let's say that you want to place the parking spots here as well, so let's extend the curve right here, and you can see you're not limited to a linear shape of your spline. You can add points whatever you want, and if I want to have a gap here, so no parking spots here at the entrance of the parking, and I want to continue from the next place right here, let's add another blueprint with our PCG graph here, and you can see that we are starting from 1 again. So this is because we are using the index of our points, and the index always starts from 0, and the 0 is actually not rendered. So right now, if I show you how you can add a starting number to your PCG graph, we can create this parking place to start from 20. So we can continue from the last number here to this number right here. Let's go into our PCG graph, and instead of using the index right here, we'll create another custom variable, which we'll call, for example, custom index. And let's go into our parking blueprint and add a variable, which will be a starting number. And the starting number will be with the type integer. We'll make it instance editable. And if we go into our PCG graph, let's do a add node. Let's get the actor property that we just created. It's called starting number. And let's add this starting number to the index of our point. So let's choose the index as the first value from the set A that we are connecting. So these are our points. We'll get the index for each point. And then we'll add this starting number, and we'll output the result. So here into the output target of this add node, write custom index. Let's connect this to the spawn actor, and here into the overrides, instead of the index, let's add this custom index. Let's save this and let's see into the level. Right now, if we select our second blueprint right here and we enter starting number of 20, we can see that the numbering starts from 20, but our first number is to the left of our parking spaces. We want to be inside the parking space, so we want to start from the right. So here at the beginning we are starting from the left. Just the first index is 0, that's why we don't see anything. But we don't want to have this starting from the left here, we want to start from the right. So let's create another variable into our blueprint and let's call it start. Let's call it skip first. And let's make it of type boolean. Let's compile and save this. And right now into our PCG graph, after we rotate the points, let's create a branch node. And the first output will just connect to the graph that we had before. We'll get again the actor property, but this time the actor property will be called skip first, the new property that we created. It apparently doesn't like the name. Okay, this is not a public value, so we need to mark this eye icon. And right now you no longer have this error. So we can skip the first element by choosing this skip first value. If we choose this skip first value, this branch node will go through the output B pin here and not from the output A. So from the output B, we want to select attribute select, and the attribute that we'll use is the index. We will use the minimum operator. So in this way, we will select the first point and we'll do a difference from our point. We'll exclude the first point, so the source is all of our points and the difference is just the first point returned from this attribute select node. Let's change this to a discrete type. So this will return all of our points except the first one. We'll use the same logic for them as we had before. So we'll do add node, which outputs into the custom index the addition of our index plus our starting number. Let's, after this, add back our first point, because we want to spawn a line for our parking, but not the number. So let's do a add node here again, but this time we'll output again into the custom index, and we'll add attribute. So we'll create attribute with a value of 0. So we'll just add 0 to the index of our point. So select the index for the first field, for the output target custom index, the same as we had before. And now we'll do merge points. Sorry, I have connected the wrong pin here. Let's connect the point attribute into the add. And right now we'll do merge points and we'll merge them with this other set. So right now, if I click the A key here, and if I inspect our parking tool, let's make sure that we select the skip first variable here. So we can see that we have our custom index for all of the elements, and for the first one it's 0, and for all the rest it starts from our starting number value. And let's connect this to the spawn actor. Let's save this. And right now, if I minimize this, you can see this skip first can be used to control if we start from the left or from the right of this. So this is a very, very simple example of how you can pass variables from your PCG graph to your blueprints. So make sure that you're using the same names as you have in your blueprint to put into your override field here. So because my blueprint expects a value for a variable called number, this is why my property target here into the override is called number. And the input source is based on the logic of your PCG graph. Just when you inspect the points with the A key, make sure that you have this value for all the points, the value that you want. And in this way, you can customize every blueprint that you want with your PCG graph. So the possibilities are endless, and this will allow you to use your blueprints together with the PCG system, which is very, very powerful in my opinion. So if you like this tutorial, please like and subscribe for the channel. You can join the channel to help me produce these tutorials, and this will allow you to watch the videos earlier. And guys, if you have any questions, please write in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!